Speaking of big, Samoa Joe, his contract is due. There's ongoing negotiations, and they're even going to turn it into a storyline with Jim Cornette, where Joe is not committed long term. And along the same lines, we should acknowledge that he became sort of one of the hot properties here in America after a series of matches against CM Punk in 2004. And we all recall in 05, they both have offers and sign in different places. Punk signs with WWE and goes to OVW. And almost immediately, Samoa Joe is on TV for you guys. And before you know it, working with Kurt Angle. And it was probably easy for a lot of people to say, well, Punk made the wrong choice. Now, here by 08, maybe they're thinking a little differently. Were you concerned that Samoa Joe might actually jump and go to WWE here?
Sure. I mean, there's always a concern when let me back up. Joe's a hell of a talent. From the day he walked in the door, and I've said this it seems like this has come up a lot in the last year or so, talking about AJ Styles and Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe and, kind of that core group of guys. I didn't miss it back then that I thought we were lucky to get Joe from the very beginning, and we got him, or we collectively, including him, got him on that roll. And then when his contract was up, it's always a negotiation, and it's always, Conrad, you can probably say this better than me, but a contract negotiation is always, Jim Ross will say, miles and money, but there's more than with the talent. Money is at the top of the list, but it's not the only thing on the list. Is he
catching creative is what JR always says.
That's right. Okay. My bad. Yeah. So, Joe, like anyone else, did he feel like just what you're saying? Is he looking over at the fence and saying, hey man, it may be green over there. I'm going to be the bull and walk down to the gate and go through. I'm going to see if the grass is green over here. Because at the end of the day, dollars were dollars. There's no way. And I tell any talent ever that we had a conversation with, we will lose every financial battle we get in with WWE. They're just that much deeper pockets and always have been.
Well, along the way, you've got to book these shows. You've got to start making pay-per-views. Did you know at this era, creatively what you wanted? Like, did you know you wanted Lockdown to be Joe versus Angle? And are you communicating that to him? Because I'm sure you're having conversations about, Joe, you'll make more money there. But do they know? It's like the way I've heard Vince used to talk to Brett in 1996 when he's trying to convince him, stay here, re-sign with me. Don't go to WCW where Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are, because, quote, they wouldn't know what to do with a Bret Hart. And in this era, I could see you saying, Joe, do you see anybody who wrestles your style getting a push over there? Do you see anybody who looks like you ever getting a push over there? Over here, we're going to have you with Kurt Angle. You're going to be in main events. Da-da-da-da-da. Is that sort of the line of thinking and the way you're presenting this?
Sure. Maybe not, because I was always trying to careful mentally that in a way that's kind of bashing the other guys. I would kind of use the positives for us and just say, Joe, look at the position you're at, and you've come in and busted your ass. And not only do we not have a lot invested in you, you have a lot of invested in you here, which was the truth. And not only that look where you're headed. There's a lot of growth. Joe, you live 90 miles from the studio. You know your travel schedule and your demands on your family life and work life better than I do. There is a factor to that. And coming from me, he knew, okay, Jeff's worked for both companies, and a lot of miles and a lot of nights from home and a lot of frustration. How happy. So that balance, but yes, I would point out the upside. And in 2008, this time frame, guys' pay was increasing. The 2-hour conversation, just all the above. The live events were kicking in. The growth of the product, the video games, which you just mentioned, the action figures. So there was a lot of upside. And then, you know, during this time frame, I think I tried to look at my notes or jar my memory by, reading the notes. I think by January, we knew that Lockdown was Joe Angle. So we're well into the story.